I'm a man on a mission, the owner and founder of Rhodes Kennels, behemoth bloodline, established in 2014. From the start, I've been focused on developing powerful, functional dogs, breeding Gotti line, XL bully types with Bandog bully crosses to create a true family of my own blood. Through years of scatter breeding, inbreeding, outcrossing, and line breeding, I've refined and tested every generation. One of my proudest productions is Kaios, a top-performing working dog who set the standard for my program. Now, I'm producing my 9th generation, led by his direct granddaughter Zoe, off his daughter Cardi, and grandson True Religion, who's just 9 months old and already showing incredible potential. This is more than breeding, it's legacy building. Welcome to Rhodes Kennels, behemoth bloodline.
What's good, big dog? What's good, Rose?
Poppin'. What's poppin'? What's poppin', man?
Man, can't call it, might spoil it, man. How you doing, bro?
Oh man, it's very cool, man.
And I gotta give you some more praise, man. Like I know the intro is gonna praise you, but I tell you this in private, I tell you this in public, man. Thanks to you and Big Bro for everything, man. Y'all really put on not just my channel, but y'all put on a lot of channels. It's a lot of channels we wouldn't have heard of if it wasn't for y'all. So genuinely, I just want to say thank you.
I appreciate it, family. You already know, man.
For sure, man. Now, to get this interview started, man, you and I have been rocking for years, but I want to reintroduce you, man. Just let some of my new subscribers, some of the new people that may not know how anything about you, I want to give them an opportunity to know RKBB, right?
No problem, man.
And so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you about yourself and how you got into the dog. Tell us about Rose.
So pretty much, man, I'm from Bakersfield, California. You know, I come from a small town, and here a lot of people like we own American Pit Bull Terriers and stuff like that. And that's what I grew up off, old family red nosed dogs, Rare Boy Rascal dogs back in the day, you feel me? That's what my dad owned, you feel me? And I was pretty much born into this, man. And a lot of game that I learned, you feel me, it comes from my dad, my uncle Papa, you feel me, my cousin Joey. Them are the guys that I seen with dogs back in the day, you feel me? And they had the best dogs in town. So when me coming up as a kid, my dad, he used to take me walking with the dogs and stuff like that when he was conditioning his dogs, getting them ready and stuff like that. And I used to see a lot of stuff growing up that a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old really shouldn't be exposed to with game dogs, you feel me? And it taught me a lot with these dogs, and it really got me to have a heart and have a love for these dogs. So when I started growing up, I was probably about 6, 7 years old, maybe about I say about going into about 8 years old. Pops used to cut me loose with the dogs, and I used to take them walking and stuff like that. And he used to tell me when if the dog come out, let that dog do what it's supposed to do. Let the dog protect you and stuff like that. You feel me? So that's how I learned how a dog was supposed to be with its own person. You feel me? As far as the dog protecting you and stuff like that, or how a dog was supposed to be, what type of caliber of dog it was. And I learned, it's different caliber of dogs. You feel me? Some dogs, you can have even little pocket rocks, a little 30-pound dog. You could have dogs that get about 50, 70 pounds. You feel me? It's different caliber of dogs when it comes to these dogs. So once I got to about, I'll say 10 years old, that's when I first started seeing blue dogs. That's when I started seeing champagne fawn colored dogs and stuff like that in that type of area. And this is probably about, I would say, in between 2003, 2005. So as I started gaining more knowledge with the dogs and started seeing different varieties, it was a different type of liking that I seen as far as dogs that I took a liking to. You feel me? When I was young, it was the red dogs, and then when I got to about 12, going until 13, it was the blue dogs. Like for instance, the Gotti line dogs, ruffian dogs, and stuff like that. And, I want to say around that time, that's when I started conditioning dogs on my own. I started taking dogs that I liked it on my own that my dad had in the yard. You feel me? We used to have about 10 dogs in the yard, and it was certain favorites that I would take a liking to, and those are the only dogs that I interact with. And that's when I started getting to the training aspect of dogs. And when I started training dogs, that's when my dad noticed something in me. That's when he didn't have a problem with me just going out there and interacting with the dogs and stuff like that. Because at a point in time, he used to try to stop me. He'd be like, certain dogs I couldn't interact with. So as I got to my teen age, that's when I was going through my rebellion stage, because that's when my parents weren't together no longer. My parents split up when I was about 11 years old. So I started choosing where I wanted to live. So when I probably left my mom's house when I was about, it was right before I turned 12. I ran away from my mom's house and went to go live with my dad. You feel me? And around that time, that's when I was figuring myself out. You feel me? Things what I wanted to do. You feel me?
Yes,
I was
sir. Yes,
getting
sir.
into I was getting into sports around that time, playing football. He was a football head, so at that time he wanted me to play. And, I was learning um, responsibility at that time. Let me just put it that way. How to operate and a feeding arrangement. How my dad wanted the dogs to be upkept, going out there picking up the yard, stuff like that. That's what molded me into the way I operate my yard now to this day. So that's just a little kind of like a start from where I got into the dogs and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. And that's so after getting into the dogs, man, how did you decide like which breeds you preferred uh and which breeds you didn't like so much?
So I would say by the time I was about 15, 16, this is around the time I used to be on YouTube a lot, looking at the bully dogs and stuff like that, like band dogs, different type of bulldogs and stuff like that, like the OD bulldogs and stuff like that. American Johnson bulldogs, Scott bulldogs. I used to look at all them different type of breeds when I was young. You feel me? And I just started paying attention to certain dogs in my neighborhood, walking around with my dogs. I started seeing bullies for the first time. I already was hip to the band dogs when I was like 12 years old because we owned one ourselves. And it was just me seeing different variety of these dogs, bull breeds just in general. And I wrote down on the paper I was going to own certain pit bulls or certain mastiffs or certain bulldogs. I was going to accomplish that one day. And I would say when I had my first breeding, I was probably about 15 years old. I had a dog named Jordan that time. He was a Champagne fawn, about 30 pounds. I taught this is the first dog I taught to jump up a tree. So that's where I got the idea of I want an athletic dog. I want a dog that I know that it could do. If I put this dog to the task, it could do something. That's
Yes,
where I
sir.
got that
Yes,
idea
sir.
from at that age. And when I had them puppies, I had one pup that came out just like him, and I was gonna keep it, but it ended up getting sold because the dude my mom was dating at the time, he had gave me the dog, so he ended up taking all the puppies and selling them. So I didn't get to experience having my own pup from a generation or like trying to train it and raise it up to be like the dog before them. You feel me? But I had that idea at an age. This is what I want to get into. I want to eventually start breeding. So I would say probably a little time went by. I got about 17. I was probably about 17. This is right before I graduated high school. I had got gifted a couple pups from one of my homeboys, and he he gave me two pups at first. Matter of fact, I got that wrong. He gave me one pup at first, and that pup passed away from parvo. So his next generation from that same dogs, he gave me two more pups. And that's when I took them pups and placed them with one of my peoples because my mom wouldn't let me keep them at the time. So we ended up selling one of the pups and we kept the other female. She was a black female named Shady. This is Chaos's grandmother. There's another pup that came up available for one of my other homeboys. His name was Blue. I couldn't pay for him at the time. Okay, son, thank you. So he had a blue male at the time, probably about 3 months old. I couldn't pay for him at the time, so my other homeboy pays for him. So I would say probably about a year or two went by. I tried to hook both my peoples up so they could breed the dogs because they didn't know how to breed. So I had to help get them dogs to get stuck, and
Okay.
that's how I got my first generation on the ground, starting my bloodline. Now I would say a couple years goes by. My peoples they at least got about 5 generations out of the same dogs, breeding them back to back. We finally kept Chaos father. Then we go from there. I would say I had moved to another neighborhood. This very same house that my mom lives in right now. We moved to this house. We had probably about 3 dogs back here, and one of my cousin's dad had gifted me a bully for my birthday. I had a band dog female back here at the time, and I decided to mate both them dogs together. And this is how I produced Chaos Mom. We took Chaos father and Chaos mom together, and that's how I produced Chaos and his sister. Now, I produced both them 2 dogs. I placed the female dog out for a while, and then I ended up getting her back, placed her out again. And when I got her back the second time, that's when I decided to breed Chaos and her together and do a inbreeding. First inbreeding that I ever did with my line. At first, I was just strictly scatter breeding. So once I did that breeding, that's how I produced Hennessy and Cardi. And that's when I moved forward with Cardi because I ended up losing Hennessy. I lost Hennessy and Chaos to the pound about 2 years ago. So
Yeah, that
I had
sucks,
to
man. I hate that.
I had to recreate what I had through the other daughter that I had left. And this is why when I breed dogs, I always keep either a male and female or I keep 2 females from each litter. And this is each generation that I breed. I make sure I keep 2 pups out the litter. Not just that, when I send the dogs out that I sell, I make sure I keep the breeding rights to them dogs. So say if something in my yard doesn't make out, I can always go source back to something outside of my yard that I produce.
I like that. I like that. That's good game.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. And for those of y'all who haven't seen Chaos, I'm gonna edit some clips in here for y'all to see Chaos because Brother Rhodes had the dog doing amazing things, man. And it's like I don't know if y'all know this, but like the West Coast guys, they do more with their dogs. I think it's a little bit more exotic out on the West Coast. So salute to y'all for that.
Yeah, I feel like not to really be not being cocky or anything like that, bro. But I feel like growing up, I seen some of the best dogs come from the West Coast. Some of the best big name dogs. Now, there's nowadays, I would say some of the best dogs is coming from the South, Midwest area. You feel me? In that area, a lot of good dogs is coming from that area. Not too many good dogs is coming out the West Coast no more. We had our time.
Yeah, and it moves around. You know, it's competitive. So you know, like if you want to stay on top, man, it's hard. Heavy is the head who wears the crown. So definitely. But speaking of heads that wear crowns, I got a second question for you, Rose. So it says, I want to know your mentors uh, and how you got to meet them.
So one of my first mentors is my dad. Let me just go ahead. My dad's name is James Rhodes. He's one of the. I'm the reason why he's the reason why I deal with these dogs now to this day, bro. And he still mentors me now to this day. Um, he's actually the one who told me to start my YouTube channel. Um, a lot of things as far as how I run my program with my dogs, I get a lot of that from my dad, bro. He was the one that taught me how to condition dogs, the feeding regimen. Um, it's a lot to it, bro. As far as having a good looking dog, you feel me, and having a dog that's operating on all cylinders. Um, it's just that man taught me a lot, bro. And salute to him. You feel me? That's my dad. You feel me?
Big salute, man. Big salute, man. Shout out to your father, bro.
Next in line, I would say my uncle, my mom's brother. His name is Popeye. That's his nickname, but his real name is Merle Reed. So he was another person that was heavily influenced with the dogs, and he taught me a lot because I stayed with him at a point in time too, around when I was about 16, 17. I was staying with my uncle at that time. So yeah, I was a young hothead at that time, bro, and I wasn't following mom's rules. You feel me? And so I had to go stay somewhere else at that time. And Unc had some dogs at that time, and it's a dog that I own named Wilson that I end up owning after my uncle. It was his dog originally, and he put a lot of work into that dog. And this taught me how this what got me into the bigger dogs. He was an all white red nose, bro. But I don't we don't know what he was crossed with. This dog was probably 130 pounds, but he could perform like a 30-pound dog. He would scale 10-foot fences. He would he was a high athlete, bro. And the dog could run fast as hell, like he was a damn greyhound. Like, I'm being serious, bro. We used to run him on the side of the car. We'd just let him loose and he'll keep up with the car.
Yep. Easy to
And
work a dog like that.
that dog taught me a lot about a dog that had stamina or had will. And a lot of my dogs now to this day, I try to have a high standards based off that dog. And that's why Chaos is built the way he was built. Because the dog that my uncle gifted me, bro, I ain't owned a dog like him ever in my life again. And Chaos is the closest to that dog. Now, I would say the next person that falls in line as far as a mentor is two of my dad's OGs. You feel me? And one name is Paris Hayes. That's my Uncle P Dog. And another one, he passed away probably about a few years back, about 3-4 years ago. His name was Popeye as well. Anthony Houston. He was those two dudes was very influentive with my dad back in the day, and they ran Red Dogs. They had Red Boy Jockos, they had the old family Red Noses, and still to this day I keep in contact with my Uncle Paris Hayes, and he passed the torch off to me. Him and my dad both gave me my flowers. The way that I am with these dogs, they said that I train the dogs better than them, and the way that I put dogs on the ground, I operate at a different level than they did.
And that's I like that because that means you took the foundation and built on it. And that's what we're supposed to do. And like with your children, you know what I'm saying? I hope
I
they
can't hear you
even
now,
more.
bro. Hold on. I got one minute go out and come back in.
Nah, hold on. Just yeah, try that.
All right, let me try that real quick.
Yeah, man. And I think that's dope because like you said, with your dad, you said and your uncles, they said that you were more advanced than them. And I think that's one of the things that's a blessing about generational gifts. They talk about generational curses, but they don't talk about generational gifts. And with your kids, I hope it's even more emphatic. You know what I'm saying? Even more they're fat, they get there to where you're at faster because of your influence and the influences that came before you. That's gonna make a really strong family, a really strong line of dogs.
You know what makes me proud, bro? Um, in the beginning, it wasn't a lot of Rhodeses, bro. Um, it was probably just me, my dad, and one of my baby brothers. You feel me? Now it's because my grandpa, he's still alive, but he's pretty much on his way out, bro. Um, my dad, me, my two brothers, three of my sons. That's pretty much it. So we making a bigger line now, bro. And when my brothers and them start having kids, and when my sons start having kids, it's gonna be more of us. So one thing that does make me proud. I'm very inclusive to my little brothers, my sons. Like, my sons are very involved with the dogs, but my brothers, they want to do a lot of stuff like me. Um, I was a real good fighter growing up. So one of my brothers, he's a boxer. He's in boxing right now. My other brother, he sees the work ethic in me. I'm a chef, so he works real hard right now. He's holding down a job right now. Now, as far as my sons, they they want to take the dogs to the park. They beg me every week, take me out to the park with the dogs. That's one thing that they like doing. They like taking the dogs for the walks. They like trying to train the dogs. They're very involved with the dogs, like I was when I was their age. And I could see Rhodes Kennels Behemoth Bloodline at least existing for the next, I would say, 50 years, bro. Because every year I'm putting something on the ground, bro. I'm at least doing 4 to 6 breeds just to keep my program running. And that's for me to keep my dogs existing. So with me putting my history out there, bro, and keeping it going and always making sure I can source back to my dogs and always make sure I'm not losing out on anything, is that's just making sure I keep something behind for them. So if they do want to pick this up, they always gonna be able to be like, all right, we don't gotta go find no dogs. You feel me? My dad bred dogs himself. We can just go holler at one of his homeboys or whatever. And my homeboys ain't gonna have no problem giving my sons no dog or whatever the case might be. You feel me? I might even have
Facts.
something already have something that's legacied out for them, where I have dogs put up for them. You feel me? So if this is what they want to do, they want to take upon that. Look, go ahead, son. Y'all go ahead and take over. You feel me? Y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. Y'all done been doing it long enough. Y'all know what to do.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That legacy is big, bro. That
Yeah.
legacy is big. And you said they like to train like you, man. That brings me to question number 4. So question number 4 is, as a trainer, how do you believe your dogs make your job easier?
So I try to create dogs that are not liabilities, bro. This is why you see me go through a lot of dogs in my yard, from different massives. You didn't see me with Dogo Argentinos. You didn't see me with Cane Corsos. You didn't see me with Shepherds as far as Belgian Malinois. Um, my own bullies that I have in my yard as far as my XL bloodline. Um, I didn't have standard bullies. I didn't have pockets. I didn't have little exotics, bro. I didn't have Frenchies. From all these different various breeds that I get involved with, I'm seeing what their temperaments are like. I'm seeing what type of dog is this dog, and that teaches me how to become a better trainer dealing with different breeds. So I'm not just dealing with one dog, and this is the type of traits that these dogs have because I have my own bloodline. So as far as me studying other dogs, not just studying my own, it teaches me how to be more patient, more like-minded as far as understanding. Because when we're young, we're not as understanding as we are as we get older. So with that comes a lot of wisdom. You feel me? As far as teaching myself about these different breeds, and I would say from dealing with all these different dogs, bro, I would say I try to put my dogs to the tasks that I know we're going to perform in the future, as far as hunting, um, scent work, uh, different things that I know that if I could have to live off the land, I know my dog's going to be able to perform that task.
Yep.
Now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I socialize my dogs a lot. I take them out in different environments around other dogs, different people. And that's just so my dogs, I can know that this dog is not a liability. And I know if I let this dog off the leash, it's not going to run and attack somebody's dog just because it's a bull breed. Or, for instance, attack a person. I want my dog to know, stay on task. This is what I got you doing. Focus on this. And for me being a trainer, when people see me do this, when I have my kids with me, or we're out and about and there's all these different people out with their dogs, or they're out with their kids or whatever, they want to know, how am I getting my dog to do this? And that's what brings me clients. So it's really being what I would say is, bro, being a people person, for one. Not just having a good spirit, but you know how with some people when they're out with their dogs, bro, and they try to call themselves trainers, and they come across other individuals with their dogs and they kind of get nasty with them. Let me just say it
Yep.
that way.
Yep.
And for one, as a society, bro, that's what causes commotions with the dogs. If your dogs notice you getting upset, how do you think your dog's going to react? Your dog feeds off your emotions. So if you're coming into something calmly and you know how to interact with other people around you while you're dealing with your dog, this is what teaches your dog how to be around people in society. Or, for instance, anything, when you put your dog to a task, it knows I have an on-and-off switch. When my owner tells me to go do this, this is what I'm gonna go do. Now, when my owner has me just chilling on this, I know this is what we're doing. We're just chilling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, man. Thank you for that perspective, man. Because the training game is just as rough as the breeding game, if you ask me.
For sure, bro. For sure, bro. It teaches us a lot, bro. As far as what we're trying to do in this world, bro, what we're bringing to the table as breeders, trainers. We have to bring that perspective. So with experience, it comes a lot of knowledge, bro. Because as we grow, we learn more. And still to this day, bro, I don't know everything as a trainer. I don't know everything as a breeder. So with that, with me knowing that, bro, I'm willing to have an open ear. I'm willing to have an open eye to see different things. That's just how it
Well,
is, bro.
well, one thing I can say about you is, man, I watched you do your breedings, and I've watched a lot of successful litters. And what I mean by that is not success as adults, just whelping them and keeping them alive.
For
As
sure.
you, as a lot of people know, I've lost a couple litters here in the last 2 years. I'm like, man, I didn't think I was going to have that problem, but moving to different areas, it was easier in Texas than it is out west. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man,
Yeah.
shout out to you for that.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it, bro. The environment. If you don't know that environment, um, it kind of it's kind of hard to deal with the yard as far as treatment. Um, it's different things, bro. Because you can only use certain chemicals in certain places. You feel me? So if you're being wary of what chemicals you're putting in your yard, you gotta think about it. You're not creating nothing toxic and stuff like that. Because sometimes it could be us poisoning our own dogs.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
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 So I got a fifth question for you, and this is the final question. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you would like to cover, or anything you just want to put out there? Anybody you want to shout out in your closing remarks?
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do this from the start, man. Shout out my boy Bank Statement. You feel me? First person that ever interviewed me on YouTube, bro.
Shout
Um,
out, shout out.
Shout out to my good brother Soul Power. Shout out to my good brother Yayla. Shout out to you. Shout out to my other peoples. You feel me? As far as Big Bro. Shout out to Boss Man Boggs. We're gonna go ahead and say shout out to my boy SSK Kennels. You feel me? We're gonna say shout out to Trevor out there. He don't call himself Fit Bullies no more. He's World
World
Pit.
Dog Health. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna say shout out to Chris Moore. Shout out to OG Herb. Shout out to my dad, my uncle Squally, my uncle P Dog. Shout out to my moms. You feel me, for bringing me into this world. You feel me, putting me through. You know, moms made it hard for me when it came to keeping these dogs, bro. Let me just put it that way, bro. But some dogs she let me keep, and some dogs she wouldn't let me keep. But it taught me how to place dogs out, bro, and be able to hold on to something
Yeah.
from a young age. Let me just put it that way. And it molded me into the individual that I am today. You feel me? Um, it's a lot of people, bro, that I could say their names, but it'd be a long list, bro.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. And you'll never hit them all because like you'll get out this interview and then you'll be like, man, I forgot this person, I forgot that person, man. And for all of y'all that he made out of mission, man, it's no smoke. He just we on a time standard here, man. And my brother came through to show me love today, man. Thank you
No problem, bro. I appreciate you having me, bro.
for sure, bro. And I think this is a part one because like this was good. This was just therapeutic, bro. I feel like we wouldn't even do an interview. You know what I'm saying? It's like we
Yeah,
chopping it up
come
like
on,
we
man. We
normally
gotta
do.
come with the part two,
Yeah,
bro. Look,
yeah,
we gotta come with the part two, bro. Even with yours, bro. We gotta
yeah,
spin the block back around. You feel me? Because it's a lot more that you have grown as far as your knowledge. You feel me? As far as what you brought to the table from the first interview. You feel me? So
yeah.
when we gotta bring you back again to the table too, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like the longer I stay here, the more I realize I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I'd do something when I started out, bro. But like now, I'm like, now I don't know nothing, man. God, dog.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah,
You think about it, bro. I've been breeding dogs for 11 years now, bro. I started my program in 2026. Almost 12 years of me breeding dogs.
yeah, man. That's a whole high school education right there. You know what I'm saying? Like going through the years of schooling, man. So salute to you on that, my brother, man. And I'm gonna go and wrap this thing up. I'm gonna let it do its thing, and then we're gonna air this thing on Wednesday morning, bro.
Yeah, we got our ninth generation dropping in about, I would say, give me about next 40 days, bro.
For sure.
Next 40
For sure.
days, Chaos Grand Pup's gonna be on the ground, bro, in the Merle suit.
That's what's up, man. I hope you have one just like him too, man. Because like a lot of people, if they new to your channel, they don't know, but like Chaos was that dog, and that was your dog. Like, you know, everybody got, even when people with multiple dogs, you got that dog that is like, they identify you with that dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when Saki's no longer with me, I'm gonna be, you know, so I don't even know how I'm gonna feel, but like Chaos was that dog.
I would say I reproduced his daughter Hennessy. His granddaughter that's about to drop the pups right now.
Yeah.
Zoe performs just like how Hennessy was, but just on a different caliber, bro. She's a little bit more intelligent. She's a little bit more. She's a little more sound, bro.
Yeah.
Cleaner conformation. She's hell of a performer, bro. And I would say now, as far as his grandson is very laid back like him. I feel like once he gets past that 14, 15 month age, he might start getting that little bit more athletic, stuff like that. He's starting to spunk up just a little bit right now, but not for what I want to see.
Yeah.
So now Chaos, he was kind of like that at that age too, so that's why I'm not really putting it past him, because I'm holding him at a high standard as far as being a line bred dog coming off of Chaos. He's coming off of Chaos' daughter and Chaos' half brother. So he has pretty much that same formula as far as how I created Chaos. You feel me? When I produced, and he's definitely he's definitely giving me that Chaos vibe. It's just I gotta be a little bit more patient. You feel me?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what sometimes with these dogs comes patience, bro. At a point in time when I first started my YouTube channel, I used to give myself a 2-year span before I started before I did another litter. I used to just sit on them puppies and study them dogs and see how them dogs operated until they got to a 2-year mark. And now that I'm operating at a different level because I have a waiting list, it's more. I have to put certain dogs out more, and I'm just studying them all at the same time. So I'm seeing what traits this dog has. I'm seeing what type of traits this dog has, and what dog is that dog pulling that from.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, man, that patience thing is big because I hear a lot of people saying it's like, I wouldn't even say patience. The dogs and I have more time together than what I have now. My life is more full. And
Right.
so I had to give the dog time because back then I didn't have no interruptions, you know what I'm saying? But responsibilities changed, life situations changed, even where I'm living at changed, you know. So
Right.
I 100% agree with you there, bro. Like that's a good closing statement, man. But I just want to say thank you again, brother Rose, man, and up here.
I appreciate it, family. You know,
all right.
This thing gonna go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nigga. Ready, son? Go get him, son. Get him, son. Chaos, let's go. Let's go, boy. Oh, shit. Chaos got that motherfucker. Chaos, here. Chaos, here. Chaos, let's go. Here. Let's go now. Chaos. Let's go. Now. Let's go, boy. Come on. Chaos. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Chaos. Here. Oh, he killed him. Go get it, son. Bring it home. Bring it home, son. Let's go. Bring it home. Come on. Bring it. Bring it home, son. Let's go. Bring it.
Let me see, son. Come on, bring it. Bring it, son. Let's go, bring it. Chaos. Let me see. Got dinner. Chaos. Leave it. Let's go. Let's go home. Good boy. Leave it. Let's go home. Good boy. Leave it. Let's go home. That's my boy. Good boy, son. Good catch. This is the second one he has ever caught. Good boy.